Hey guys, so this is kind of an impromptu video. I wanted to give you guys an update on what happened. So, as many people saw, I wrote on Facebook that a guy tried to attack me, and I'll explain what happened. So, as many of you might have seen a couple days ago, I wrote a status about a crazy guy who was threatening me and attacking me in a hot tub. So, let me just go over that real quick, and then we'll get into what just happened about 2 hours ago now. So basically, and I don't know if you see any shiner here. Luckily, it didn't really connect as well as the guy wanted to. But anyway, so I was at a hot tub a couple days ago, and we met this guy before. His name was Robert E. Lee, and his original name wasn't Robert E. Lee. I did a criminal record check on this guy, and he has like 49 infringements or something.
And he told us not to do a report on him, so
yeah,
after this, he's definitely doing a fucking report right now.
So this guy's stalking us. He has a Punisher logo on the front of his truck. Anyway, we met him before, and he was threatening to get a 15-year-old arrested for smoking weed. So, you know what kind of guy he is. Anyway, he's like a big roided out guy who apparently spent 10 years in a wheelchair after a drunk driver hit him many years ago. He has many problems. He was telling us how he pulls over to the side of highways and cries like 5 times a day. And, you know, I felt bad for him. So, you know, we're talking, and he asked if Tim and I were gay, first of all. And we're like, no. And he's there with it's just totally nonsense. The guy was just like, obviously he's been asking a bunch of people that, as I've talked to other people, and apparently he asks everyone if they're gay. Anyway, so he starts asking us about politics. We're actually agreeing on most things, but he's being really combative. So eventually I'm like, why are you being combative with me? And he's like, well, you're being combative with me. And I'm like, well,
so
you seem to be.
Dad says there's no sound.
Well, there's definitely sound. Turn on the sound. So he's like asking me why I'm being combative with him, and I'm like, you're being combative with me. And so anyway, what happened was I'm talking to him, and a little bit of time goes by, and sorry, I just totally got distracted by the sound thing. Turn the volume on. Anyway, yeah, seriously. But anyway, so I'm talking with him. And we were agreeing on everything, and then suddenly he's like, many years ago, a bunch of assholes ran me over with a vehicle. I've always wanted to kill them and eat them. And I'm like, okay. And then he's like, and you remind me of those scumbags. You're like, I think you are a pedophile-loving motherfucking scumbag. And I'm like, what? Like, that's crazy. Well, who says that? And so anyway, fast forward, the guy walks out of the hot tub. I'm like, sitting really still and diligent about it.
He's sort of like Joe from Family Guy.
He literally looks like Joe from Family Guy.
He's sort of like Joe from Family Guy type
He's like a huge, and he's wearing tight shirts to show off the fact that he's roided out. Anyway, fast forward, I think 2 or 3 days, and we go to this bar. We weren't even planning on doing that. We're walking his dog, and we just like, oh, let's check out. Let's hang out there for a moment, get a drink.
Yeah, we're going to the pizza place. The pizza place is closed on Tuesdays now.
So we go into this place, and we sit down, and this guy shows up, and we see him, and he's staring at me, starts walking towards me, and then turns away. And I'm like, and we notice it, and we're talking about it. And what happens is, give it another 20 minutes, and this guy with a gold gym shirt walks by, and I mentioned,
super jacked,
so he goes up to Tim, and he grabs him by the back of the neck and says, ha ha ha, just kidding. And
we're like, first of all, I'm looking at him. I have no idea who it is. I've never seen him in my life. I'm thinking maybe did I meet him at the pool sometime, and maybe I didn't, recognize him. And all of a sudden, Josh comments like, "Oh, he has a gold shirt."
Yeah, so I said, "Well, in Egypt, the number one gym in Egypt was Gold's Gym." I'm like, "Oh, where did you get that from? That's cool." And he just says,
"It's Goodwill."
Yeah, he's Goodwill, and then he says, "Karma, bitch!" And he comes at me, and at first I'm thinking like he's joking that he's not actually going to punch me. So I'm like, what the hell? But then he actually goes at me. So I did a drop roll. I pulled my chair over and fell on its side, and I rolled and I kicked him in the chest. He punched really hard at the ground and missed me by like an inch right next to my head into the concrete.
You
so
know, this guy's like
concrete.
This guy's like 6'3", like jacked, like out to here, wearing a Gold's Gym shirt, and then I just go in, tackle him.
Well, but he was able to connect one of his knuckles with my eyeball, which made me cross-eyed for like 20 seconds. So I get up and I see 2 of Tim and 2 of him. I was like totally out of it. I'm like, so I did a somersault backwards. I jumped to my feet and I ran behind a table. And Tim is going out with this guy, and this guy's like throwing punches at Tim. He picks up a table, he picks up a chair, starts throwing it at us, and we're going like, what the fuck is going on?
Dude, like, I'm not trying to fight you right now. I mean, for various reasons, and
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
and so we're like trying to get around it. His friend was there. I was like, what the hell? So this is what happened, and this is what I confirmed after I talked
Then I'm
to two
getting
people
chased
in
around
the bar.
And then the guy's chasing me around the bar, and I got my hands up. And I'm like, dude, I'm not trying to fight you right now. You just tackle my buddy, but he's like, so
Like, we
drunk,
could have
trying
used
to
a
go-
lot more violence on him, but we didn't do it because obviously we don't need police involved, we don't need the government involved, we don't need all that bullshit. We're just trying to like diffuse the situation. But this guy's picking up tables and throwing it at us, and big, gigantic, clunky metal tables. Like they're heavy tables, and he's just throwing them at us like Donkey Kong.
And
And
this guy
so
was like completely roided out too. Like it was a guy that was maybe.
and his friend has no idea what's going on. But also, then I talked to some people who were in the bar, including a nurse who was talking to me, and she says that this guy came up to me and said that I was a pedophile. And then apparently the bartender says this guy told him he was a pedophile, and he was trying to get me attacked or killed or beaten. And he was telling
He said I'd pay somebody.
he was going to pay someone. So this is what we
check
find
it out.
out. This guy is there every night. I found out from a bartender. He's there every single night, sitting there, and he's been waiting for me and telling people about me and giving them my photos because I showed up and this guy already knew who I was. The guy who attacked us was sitting across the bar outside on the patio and sitting at the table and kept staring at me all night, and I was wondering what was going on. It turns out this guy was most likely, by the sounds of it, getting paid by this Robert E. Lee guy who lives in Vistancia in Peoria.
Everybody where I live.
And he's obviously a unhinged, crazy person,
Yeah.
and so he's paying people. He's stalking me. He has a Punisher logo on his truck, and he just came up with the idea that I'm a pedophile because he asked me how do we solve the solutions of the world, and this is how it all happened. I just said to him in the hot tub the other day, well, we have to take care of our family, take care of ourselves, protect the ones around us, but not ask for something from the government. And he says, you remind me of those pedophile-loving motherfuckers. He goes crazy on me. So this is, and then he's just telling everyone I'm a
I tried to
pedophile.
diffuse the situation by going, did you think we were gay because, he gives off like a pedo type vibe? It's just
That's a terrible
and
remark.
So he was not.
Terrible
It just pissed the guy off like 10 times.
But
even
like
more.
this guy's
But that
absolutely
was 2 days ago.
This guy's absolutely insane. So now he's stalking me in Peoria, Arizona, and now I can't go anywhere because this guy's like trying to have me killed. So the guy's name is Robert E. Lee. He's 46 years old. He's in Vistancia of Arizona.
Changed his name to Robert E. Lee.
His original name, I think, was Robin R. Lee, and then I did research and I actually pulled up his criminal record. And it turns out it took me $10. I found his criminal record after he fucking
$10.
freaked out on me the other day. And I found out that he has, I think, 49 criminal records. And this guy drives around in a Punisher truck, and like apparently, according to the other guy in the hot tub,
we've got all the tapes that
we have
can
security
put
tapes of
100%
this happening.
defensive,
We have security tapes at the bar of this happening, and this guy has 49 criminal records, has a bunch of foreclosures, has all these issues. Apparently, his daughter ran out of town because
an
of him.
award for my restraint of just tackling him and getting him off of him and not beating his fucking ass. I mean, I should have a lifetime free fucking drinks at this
And the
place.
thing is, everyone's like, why don't you go to the police? The reason I didn't go to the police is for very obvious reasons. First, I'm an anarchist. Second, because I'm Canadian and I'm not a citizen of the United States of America, and I don't need to get deported to third world Canada to be thrown in a camp, which they're doing it with everyone right now that's entering Canada. So I don't need any of that. I'm just trying to live my life. I don't start shit with people. I have a conversation where we're agreeing, and then this guy goes insane, and now he's telling everyone I'm a pedophile and having people come after me and try to kill me. So yeah, I'm a little bit concerned about that.
I've been on Facebook for 8 days, and look what fucking goes down. They're coming after it.
So it's insanity. I'm a little cross-eyed still. I'm still having a hard time seeing in a straight line because this guy hit me in the eyeball. But luckily, my reflexes paid off. I did a drop roll. I kicked him in the chest.
Luckily, your friend Tim also fucking tackled him. I mean...
Well, yeah. A little late to the party. He still got me in the eye.
Oh, late to the party.
But anyway.
Trying to assess the situation of, I think the guy was kind of coming at you, and next thing I know, he's lunging at Josh.
This, and missed the first time, so I just did a drop roll and kicked him in the chest. And then he punched the concrete next to my head as hard as he could. People across the patio were
it was a whole situation where it was going back and forth. He literally just came up out of nowhere. I thought he was just fucking with us. Thought, there was nothing to it. And next thing I know,
he was just a crazy drunk guy.
And then Josh, mentions hey, Gold Gym is big in Egypt. And the guy's like, oh yeah, karma, motherfucker. And just goes and tries to tackle Josh. And then I just go
and then I find out from other people that talked to this guy, because he apparently went around the bar telling everyone I was a pedophile. So, I mean, everyone in the bar thought I was a pedophile. It was crazy. And, I can't explain to everyone in the bar how this crazy person is after me. but he's roided out, and he went up to some two girls that were at the bar at the pool table and started harassing them and telling them about me. And I don't know. This guy says, I'm American in Canada and call the police. Oh, I didn't mean to turn the camera around. He says, I'm American in Canada and I call the police. Well, don't. Martin says, the guy needs to be taken away from the streets. Aaron says, what happened? Well, after we finish this video, you can rewind and watch it because I'm not going to tell the whole story all over again. But anyway, so there's a guy around around Peoria, Arizona, who's trying to have me killed now, and he's stalking me and apparently sitting at a bar all day waiting for me to show up because it's a small neighborhood that I'm in. So of course I'm going to show up at this bar at some point. And
there's like 6 people at this bar. It's not like it's some huge hopping Saturday night.
No, it's a small place.
We're taking little Yoshi for a walk. Weren't even planning on going to the bar. And
Yoshi's a little shell shocked.
We're just like, I'm like, come on, you're 25% Pitbull. Quit being a little bitch, Yoshi. He had his tail between his legs. Didn't do anything.
And I'm like, I have to interview Judy Mikovits in like 2 days, so I'm like, do I have a black eye? I don't know. I don't think he managed to connect, but he connected with my eyeball almost only, and it like, I'm like still cross-eyed, but anyway.
Yeah, no, very, very big dude too. I mean, like, he has a gold gym shirt on, like all fucking roided out.
Yeah, he's like 6'3" and like roided out. Yeah, so
probably a good inch or two taller than me at least. So
well, and we still got out of it. But
yeah,
I mean, here's the thing: the bartenders were awesome. One of them gave us a ride home because like they didn't want us walking because we had to walk like 20 minutes back.
No, then they came. Oh, you forgot the part where they came back and then ran.
Oh yeah, so the crazy people showed up again to try and attack me again, and then backed into the wall and smashed
like,
their truck into the wall.
Up, like,
and so the bartenders all ran out into the parking lot and they took off. And oh my god, it was just
so then like, this is like an hour later. Like they're fucking still here, like stalking us. The guy was. I mean, they should have just called the police because the guy was so drunk driving. I mean, blackout drunk. But yeah, it was a. I mean, my leg was just. My arms were just like shaking because it's just like a fight or flight. I mean, I'm not afraid to fight, but there was some reasons why I didn't want to get into a fight that night.
We won't disclose.
Allegedly, no, not disclosing why. But yeah, but. Yeah, crazy
Storage
night
space
up here in the coronavirus capital of the world. So they probably, if something would have happened, they would have, maybe I could have shot him. They would have said it was a coronavirus death. So who knows what would have happened?
Yeah, but anyway, I'm gonna end it here because I don't know what's going on with my storage space on my phone, even though I have like 25 gigabytes left. I'm gonna cut it off here, but I wanted to let you guys know what was happening. Aaron says the whole bar thought you were a pedo. Well, why? I explained that earlier. Just watch the video after I finish this stream. I am going to take off now and try and like figure out what the fuck just happened. I appreciate everyone watching. I'm okay right now, but this guy's insane. His name is Robert E. Lee. If anyone wants to know, it's easy to remember. He's 46 years old, lives in Vistancia. Just if anything happens, you guys know what to do. Anyway, I appreciate it. See you guys. Talk to you guys later.